Yeah, hi there. These comments, I'm going to just use your initials H, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the online TOEFL course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And I'm going to listen to your integrated speaking practice test. Alright, so I think in this case you're reading a passage and listening to a lecture, and then you're asked to speak about this information.
The passage a speaker discuss has a different effect of the...
Okay, the reading and the listening passage discuss has... In this case, you're using two different main verbs. That's not going to work. You want to make sure that if you're using an independent clause, you have one subject and one verb. So let's listen to this one more time.
The reading passage and speaker discuss has a different effect of the internet.
What if you said this? The reading and the listening passage discuss the negative and positive effects of the internet. In this case, you just have one subject and one verb. Then you put your objects after that, and that would work grammatically.
Reading passage say the internet is more bad because it is...
I think the word bad is probably a little bit basic. It's a basic vocabulary word, probably not a good vocabulary word, because you're trying to use this as a topic or a topic sentence to frame the purpose of, I think, the reading passage. So you could say the reading passage claims the internet is harmful to civilization. Harmful is probably a little bit better word than bad. Or you can say negative, as it says in the reading passage.
Uncensored. Also, the children can have unlimited access to use the website.
So unlimited access to websites, but what kinds of websites? Because there's a lot of websites on the internet. Some websites are good, some websites are bad, so you probably need to be a little bit more specific there. I think according to the reading passage, you can say that children can have access to harmful websites, in which case they might meet someone online and then have some problem. For example, and then explain
also
that. So I think here you're not including, I think, the most important information. You are including some information from the reading passage, but not enough information so that someone else can understand the main point of the reading passage. So you have to be a little more specific in some of the details that you include.
Discuss say the internet has a positive
Okay, let's look at your grammar one more time here.
Access to use the website. Also the speaker...
Instead of saying also there, you can probably use a transition word like however. If you're using however, that's going to be more effective because in this case you can show how the information in the listening passage is different or opposite from the information in the reading passage. So instead of using also, however would really help the listener understand how the two ideas are connected.
The speaker discuss say the internet has...
Let's say the speaker discusses. When you use speaker, which is singular, you want to use a singular verb, and the word discuss is a verb, but it's actually plural, so you want to put es on the end there to show that it is singular.
A positive effect civilization for two reasons.
Okay, this is good. I need to check one more thing. Hold on.
Affect civilization for two reasons.
Hold on.
First, the speaker discuss say the internet has a positive effect civilization for two reasons. First, people can use the internet for business, for example.
Okay, so I would say instead of saying people can use the internet for business, I would say first of all, according to the listening passage, the internet has economic benefits, and then move to your example. So what you have to do is, when you're summarizing, you explain a main idea first, and then you give a detail second. So in this case, when you're given the first example from, I think, the listening passage, start off with more of a general idea, then move to the more specific information there.
A bicycle In Japan, can start e-commerce store in internet. Consumer from Taiwan, Germany, and Russia can go to
Taiwan, Germany, not German. German's a person. Germany is actually the country.
The website and pay bicycle.
So you're having some problems with your language use.
Japan can start e-commerce store in internet. Consumer from Taiwan, Germany, and Russia can go to the website and pay bicycle.
You can't say and pay bicycle. You can say buy bicycle or pay for the bicycle. Right? So certain kinds of verbs, I don't know why, but certain kinds of verbs, we call them transitive verbs, which means they take objects. So I can say, I buy a bicycle. But the word pay, also a verb, I can't say I pay a bicycle because pay is an intransitive verb and you usually need to use what's called a preposition or a prepositional phrase after that particular word.
The second reason, internet is very powerful education opportunities.
No, I don't. You can say, secondly, according to the listening passage, the internet has educational benefits. Probably say it something like that.
So in conclusion, the reading passage say the internet is very bad for the children because it's unlimited to use it, and the discuss say the internet is powerful.
All right. So let's take a look at your score here. You might want to take out a sheet of paper and take some notes. I'm going to give you some specific suggestions right now to help you with your speaking. So when I comment on speaking, I have to comment in terms of delivery, language use, and also topic development. All right, so in terms of delivery, you're having a tough time. You're struggling right now. I'll be honest with you. This is not easy for you. So speaking is not something that you're comfortable with right now. You have a lot of pauses, a lot of hesitations. So I really think you need to make a lot of improvements here. So what I want to do here, I'm going to go over to the pronunciation part of my course. I'm going to show you some things that you need to do here to get better. Now, I know that you're already working in the pronunciation part of my course, right? Hopefully, you're now going through these lessons here based on my recommendations in the video I sent you by email, right? Now, in addition to doing those lessons, you have to work on your pausing. You have to work on your intonation. You're not varying your tone that much, and you have a tendency to pause a little bit too much. So here are the lessons I think you need to focus on in the second part of my course. Syllable division and grammatical word endings. Speak clearly, lesson 26 through 29. Sentence rhythm, 33, 34, 35. You need to work on those. Also intonation, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. And then you also should work on thought groups and blending, 41, 42, 43, and 44. So each of these lessons, there's a lot of good practice exercises to explain to you what the pronunciation is and what you're trying to learn. I even give you opportunities to record your practice exercises on the internet, which is going to be very, very important for you. Because you have to practice, you have to get used to, for TOEFL purposes, you have to get used to recording your voice and listening to it and getting more aware of what your speaking problems are, right? But forget the TOEFL for a minute. For graduate study, you will be giving a lot of speeches and presentations. You'll be talking with students in groups. You'll be interacting a lot with your professors. So you got a lot of work that you need to be doing right now to work on that, to help prepare yourself for these kinds of speaking activities. So in addition to doing the lessons in my course, I encourage you to watch TV every day. You can watch news programs, documentary programs, history, and especially science programs. That's going to be good. Each week, you can watch movies. This is also important. So the more exposure you get, I think the better you will be with your speaking and pronunciation of American English. So these are things that you need to do to improve your delivery. So now you know. You know exactly what you need to do. So now it's your responsibility to take these suggestions and start making progress in these specific areas so that you can start speaking more naturally, with appropriate tone, with the appropriate pausing and pacing. Alright, let's take a look at language use here. Big trouble. Got a lot of trouble again. So what you can do, you're already doing. Work in the grammar part of my course. You're already doing this. Remember, you took that pretest. That grammar pretest will tell you which areas in the grammar part of my course you need to focus on. Keep doing that. I even recommend that you keep a grammar journal. That means that you, as you study my grammar lessons, start writing down in a journal on a sheet of paper. Start writing down some of the sentences that you're studying, things that are new to you, and you can start practicing these things on a regular basis. That's also going to be very important. But that's not enough. I'm going to direct you to the vocabulary part of my course. You have very basic vocabulary. Your vocabulary is not college level, but it's very important. You don't have to be college level. You need to be graduate level with your vocabulary. So the first step for you to at least build your basic vocabulary is my vocabulary lesson number 3. Start working on that over the next few weeks. This is a great ebook I put together a few years ago, and it will give you 200 basic vocabulary words that you can start using in your speaking and also your writing. Right? So I highly recommend that. Also, vocabulary lesson number 4, vocabulary lesson number 5, and vocabulary lesson number 6. If you can learn these 4 lessons, this helps you to improve your vocabulary to 1,700 college level words. Many good things are going to happen if you can do that, right? Okay, let's go back to the rubrics. So I think topic development, you have a pretty good sense, I think, of how to organize the response. So I'm not going to make too many comments here. You know how to organize the introduction along with the body. My suggestion was when you're summarizing, and by the way, this is important for your writing, also in Jacob's class, and also any writing you do in my class, you want to make sure you understand the concept of what's called presenting general ideas before specific ideas, right? So you start off with generalizations, then you give the more specific information after that. All right, that's just one thing to think about. Okay, your score here. It's tough. I mean, I could score you in the 1 range, but I'm going to put you at 2.0. I think this is a little bit high, but I'm going to go ahead and put you at 2.0 out of 4. This puts you at 15 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. And for the purposes of our class, 2.0 out of 4, this is going to put you at 70% on this assignment. So you got to practice, but that's why you're in the intensive English program, am I right? Okay, so anyway, thank you very much for completing this integrated speaking practice test. Like I said, I hope that you have written some of these suggestions down. These are some things that you need to start working on. And next week we will begin our second integrated speaking practice test. So over the next few weeks, over the next 2 months, we will be completing 3 additional speaking practice tests. We will also have some integrated writing practice tests. So right now, if you focus a lot in the pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar parts of my course, you will be able to make some meaningful improvements, which will have a direct impact on helping you to improve your speaking and your writing.